Welcome back to the channel. So, honestly don't know what I'm going to do today yet. But, I do know that we got a lot of stuff to do on the Nova still. And I got something that I'm really excited for the Chevelle. So, we're going to do the right thing. And, we're just going to slap this new hood on. We're going to take this one off. And we're just going to lay this one on there because it's going to have to come back off for this to come out anyway. So I'm just impatient and I really want to see what it's going to look like with the new domed hood, new old domed hood. Obviously, as you know, this is just the factory flat hood, and this is somebody, when this car sat for 20 some years, it must have had a cardboard box right here. And I just really did a number on that section of the hood. Paint is bubbled up real bad. It's got some real thick, crusty rust up in there. We could get it smoothed out and at least more presentable, but it's still gonna look kind of crappy in that area. So, neat domed hood that was pretty cheap and is basically already faded to match, so it will be perfect. So I'm going to do the right thing, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you the easy way to get these hoods off by yourself. And that way is use two people. But we're not going to do that, so we're going to go ahead and take this hood off. I got the 4 bolts broke loose just to make sure that we weren't going to have any issues there, and these ones are loose. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, and then we are going to pop that out, pop this hood off, flatten the hinges. All right, set the new one on and see what it looks like. Now the reason I'm taking this off is because the new hood doesn't have a latch piece on it, so we'll have to use it. Ain't no big deal. And again, I'm not going to put that latch on the other hood yet anyway. So basically what I've always done by myself is take the top ones out first, put pressure on the bottom, take the bottom bolt out, and then you can kind of let the hood slide down on this side, and then go over to the other side, do the same, and if you get that one out, you can kind of slide your way up to the front, let it down nice and slow, and then basically just use every ounce of your back muscle and try to get it out of here. There it is. So, take it back, move to the front, kind of teeter-totter it. Do your best not to slam it into their nice windshield. There you go. Just like that. And now we have all the light in there. And really, when you get the hood off of this Chevelle, It doesn't look like a whole lot of room in there, but with the hood on it, looks like there's a ton of room. It's kind of odd. But yeah, old hood, new hood. Wasn't so bad. So yeah, let's go ahead and push those down. Don't squish your fingers. So we got those down. We're gonna go ahead, try and heave this thing onto there so we can see what it looks like. Good thing about putting this hood on, I'm not worried about scratching the car. If you're worried about scratching it, get two people down here. Yeah. Yep, that looks good. So, I don't know if this has been repainted or what. It is brighter than the rest of the car. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can tell it on the video. It is brighter. I don't know, kind of sucks a little bit, but I don't think it's too awful terrible. Or we're obviously going to keep this one around, so if it gets to the point where like, oh man, this is just not good, we don't like how bright it is, then maybe we'll put the old one back on. But I do like the Cowl quite a bit better. It looks really, really good. Just that little bit of something to give it a little bit of edge, you know? Sitting in it is way, way better than the flat head. You got that little bulge right there. Nice little steps. Looks really good. So that brings up my next question. With the Cowl hood, most cars, I don't know if any honestly, but I'm sure there's probably a few, but most cars with Cowl hood did not have the fender spears. This is a Malibu only thing. They come all the way up over the door, and they come up here. So your normal SS or non-Malibu, whatever you want to call it, did not have these. It just had the drip rail from here up and down the window. So should we keep those or should we lose them? I'm really torn. I like the fact that it's Malibu. I'm not trying to change that. I'm not trying to clone the car, anything like that. But it also, to me, looks cleaner without them. So comment down below, what do you think we should do with the fender spears? Should we take them off? Should we leave them? I don't know. What should we do with the hood? Should we keep the domed hood? Try and kind of blend it a little bit, make it a little bit less noticeable. Maybe we can try and buff just the fenders out and blend it in. Maybe these will brighten up to get to that level. I don't know. just don't know. I think this was definitely, yeah, there's some Bondo up in here, it looks like. So I'm sure the hood was kind of fixed up and repainted at some point, so that's probably why it's brighter anyway, but I don't know. That's where we're at. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. That's done. We're going to get to working on the Nova, I think. We are going to get on this pretty quick, I think. We're going to be waiting on seats and stuff interior-wise on that. So right now, actually, I am doing the trunk floor and I'm out of gas. So I got to get welding gas tomorrow and we'll be back going to town on that. But interior-wise, we're going to have pretty much everything except for the seats, and we need those to figure out how to finish the interior. We can do headliner and stuff like that still, but we do need the seats. So without those, we need to get the trunk done so we can get the fuel system in. And also we can go ahead and start with drivetrain pretty much at any point. We do have a new heater core and such in there. So we need to do that first. That way all this nice stuff isn't in the way. But it's kind of where we're at. So we're going to start tinkering with that. And we're going to leave this for now. We will, like I said, we're going to kind of jump back and forth depending on what we're waiting on parts for on this and on that, etc. So hopefully it'll be kind of a situation where we get both out fairly soon. So let's get to it. Well, it is a couple nights later, probably almost a week. Don't know, to be honest. But just went ahead. I know it's dark and I know you can't see very well, but this section right here, and there's a section back here, and there's a section right in here. Went ahead and replaced all that. Same process as the floor. So you can go back some videos and look at that, but basically cut it out. I actually used floor panel pieces that were left over. So like this right here, that would be like a drain plug, they call them. The trunk has one here and one here. Now it's got a little divot there, but it doesn't have one. Just used what we had laying around. We'll probably put a trunk mat or something over it anyway, so you won't see it. This car, if you were to go full restore on this, it's going to need a deck lid, it's going to need quarters, it's going to need a complete trunk pan, it's going to need tubs, it needs everything if you wanted to actually restore it. So these patches, although they're not perfect, is just fine for what we are going to do with the car, which is drive it. So like I said, it's probably going to get a trunk mat anyway. It's going to be covered up, you ain't going to see it. So that's done. We do have some more parts. I know you guys are probably tired of seeing parts and not actual progress, but there's a lot of parts that go into this. So basically we have console stuff. So we do not have all of it yet. We're missing one piece, I believe. So this here is the bracket for the front of the console on the floor. You guys saw the 4-speed hump panel that will go underneath this now. We got that in. We got the console boot. Remember, we had a brand new boot for the non-console, but now we're going console. So we got a console boot. We got some hardware, more hardware. This is a shifter plate. So basically that boot will go in there and this will slide with the shifter so that it's always covered. the center console. Good looking piece. That'll sit in there like so. And then the factory had like some 4 square gauges up here, was an option, or there was a flat panel just to cover that. I opted for the auto meter. I opted for this because the 4 square gauges that were factory, super cool looking, you know, whatever. But they're small and they kind of face backwards. So when you're sitting in the car, you see this, and when you look down at your gauges, they're facing this way. So you got to kind of do this number, where these face straight up towards you. We'll put a regular 2 1/16 gauge in those, and it'll be perfect. So we can run oil pressure, water temp, voltage, and maybe vacuum. Not quite sure on the 4th one that we're going to run yet, but we'll run those 3 for sure. But we'll run 4 gauges down there, and that'll be super nice. It'll look cool, and it'll actually function really well. So we got all these parts. I think that is probably going to do it for tonight. We're getting there slowly but surely. So we got a bunch of parts probably going to be coming for the Chevelle. I got kind of all kinds of things in the basket for that. I think we're going to use that Buick interior for the seats and stuff. I think I got the wheels and tires sold, so we're going to go to a different set of wheels and tires. And then we got some stuff for the 2JZ, intercooler, fuel system, stuff like that. So hopefully we can get that dropped in and mocked up and get that knocked out pretty quick before it starts to get super warm and we can drive it. So that's where we're at. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you very, very soon. Please come back, and if you're new to the channel, go back, see what we got going on. We got a lot of stuff, and we're gonna have a lot of fun this year. So thanks again, guys, for watching. See you later.
Sky's not the limit, it's just the beginning.